Here is a pair of eighth notes. Each one of these eighth notes is a half of a beat, and together they make one beat. And I'm going to ask you that later in this lesson. So here is how you clap and count a pair of eighth notes. One and. Let's try that. Ready, go. One and. Do that without me. Ready, go. Here is a quarter note. A quarter note equals one beat, and it's the same as two eighth notes tied together. So we're going to clap and count this like the two eighth notes but combined. Watch this. One and. Ready, go. One and. Let's do that one more time. Ready, go. One and. Let's do the eighth notes again. Ready, go. One and. Quarter note. Ready, go. One and. Eighth notes by yourself. Ready, go. Quarter note by yourself. Ready, go. Let's move on to patterns. This pattern is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's clap and count. Ready and go and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll clap with you. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For the next one, I'm going to point to each beat, but not the and. So you're going to have to clap this one on your own. Ready and go and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to clap with you. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Do it with me pointing again. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you really have to be able to do this on your own and clap that and without me touching it. I'll clap with you this time. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time I'll just point. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time on your own. Ready, go. This is a quarter rest. A quarter rest is as long as 2/8 rests. So we're going to count this as 1 and. It's one beat of rest. That's what it is. Ready, go. 1 and. Just like the quarter note. Let's put these in patterns. I will point to everything first. Watch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But the next time I point, I'm not going to point to that because you know to go 4 and. Let's clap and count. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Clap and count without my help. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's clap and count. I'm going to help you. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time I'll point, but I'm not going to point to the and, just to the numbers. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time without my help. Ready, go. Next one, I'll clap and count with you. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and. This time I'll just point. Ready, and go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Without my help. Ready, and go, and. I'll clap and count with you. Ready, and go, and. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. I'll just point. Ready, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. I'll clap and count with you. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. I'm going to point to everything for now because you're seeing 2 pairs of eighth notes in a row. Ready, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So now I'm going to point to each separate beat, and you're going to have to do the ands on your own. Ready, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Clap, count that without me. Ready, and go, and. I'll clap and count this one with you. Ready, and go, and. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. This time I'll point. Ready, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Without my help. Ready, and go, and. Ready, and count, and. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. With me pointing. Ready, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. This is a single eighth note, and here is a question I told you I was going to ask. How many beats is an eighth note by itself? An eighth note is half of a beat. How many eighth notes tied together makes a quarter note? 2 eighth notes tied together make a quarter note. So you learned a pair of eighth notes is 1 and. But if there's just 1 eighth note, it's just 1. Do that. Ready? Go. 1. The eighth note could also be and. Let's do it as and. Ready? Go. And. So let's take a look at some patterns, including the eighth note. So you learn this as 1 and. This is also 1 and. Let's do the 2 flagged. They have flags. Ready? Go. 1 and. And let's do the pair of eighth notes with the beam. Ready? Go. 1 and. So later on, I'm going to ask you what this curved line is, and you're going to say that's a flag. I'm going to ask you what the connecting line is, the horizontal one, and you're going to say that's a beam. And we all know that these vertical ones are stems. So we have a pair of eighth notes and a pair of eighth notes. I'm going to clap and count with you. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to point to everything for now. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So remember, 2 eighth notes is as long as 1 quarter note. I'll clap with you. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this and this are the same. I'm going to point at everything. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to point to each beat as a group, as a unit. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll clap and count with you. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time, I'll point to everything. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time, I'll point to just the units, the beat units. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And a question again. An eighth note just by itself, how many beats is it? An eighth note by itself is a half of a beat. How many beats is a quarter note? Quarter note is 1 beat. How many eighth notes make a quarter note? 2 eighth notes make a quarter note. Let's go on. This is the eighth rest. So you learn for an eighth note by itself is just 1, or it could be and. This could be just 1, or it could be and. An eighth rest equals a half of a beat, and 2 eighth rests together make a quarter rest. So let's move on. I'm going to ask you that later again. And notice the eighth rest also has a flag, 1 flag. So this is an eighth note, eighth rest. Watch this. 1 and. Let's try that. Ready, go. 1 and. Ready, go. 1 and. Here's the reverse. Ready, go. 1 and. I'll do it with you. Ready, go. 1 and. One more time. Ready, go. 1 and. Let's put them in patterns. I'm going to point first to everything. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time I will clap with you. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time I'm going to point to each beat unit, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to go to the next one. So the next one, you have an eighth note, an eighth rest in the beginning. I'll point at everything first. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. How many eighth rests are in a quarter rest? There are 2 eighth rests in a quarter rest. I'm going to clap count with you. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll just point at everything first. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's clap together. Ready and go and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready, go and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Clap and count. Ready and go and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll clap with you. Ready and go and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's clap and count backwards. Ready, go and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This time I'm going to point to the beat units. Beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. Ready and go and. 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and. You could think of them as maybe like 4 boxes. Like this box has these 2 eighth notes in it. This box has the eighth rest, eighth note. It's 1 beat. This box has the eighth rest, the quarter rest, sorry, and this box has a quarter note. I'll clap and count with you. Ready? And go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Do with me pointing at everything. Ready? And go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. This time I'm only going to point to 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have to clap the ands on your own. Ready? And go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Ready? And go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's go backwards. Ready? And go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. And this time I'll point to just the beats. The 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? And go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Make sure you're not clapping on those rests. This is a dotted quarter note. The dot after a note turns it to 1.5 times its value. So a dotted quarter note equals 1.5 beats, which is equal to 3 eighth notes. So as you guessed, this will be counted as 1 and 2. Ready? Go. 1 and 2. It could also be 2 and 3. Do that. Ready? Go. 2 and 3. It could also be and 2 and, because that's 3 eighth notes also. Ready? Go. And 2 and. It could be 3 and 4. Ready? Go. 3 and 4. It could be and 4 and. Ready? Go. And 4 and. Dotted quarter notes are always 3 eighth notes long. So here's a dotted quarter note followed by the eighth note. This is 1 and 2 and. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and. Let's do one more practice. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll clap with you. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ready? And clap and count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'll clap with you. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So remember, this is 3 eighth notes. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to clap and count with you. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And just for a different way of doing subdivisions, we're going to say how many subdivisions. So we're going to go, let's go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. Because every eighth note equals 1 eighth note. Every dotted quarter equals 3 eighth notes, and every quarter note equals 2 eighth notes. Let's do it regular counts. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do with numbers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2. Ready, go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. Let's do counts. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's go backwards. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. That was fun. Let's go on. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. This time without my help. Ready, and go, and. Let's go backwards. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Piece of cake. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. I'll point to help you. Ready, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. How many eighth notes are in an eighth note? There is one eighth note in an eighth note. How many eighth notes are in a dotted quarter note? There are 3 eighth notes in a dotted quarter. How many eighth rests are in a quarter rest? A quarter rest equals 2 eighth rests. So let's review this pattern. This is eighth rest, eighth note. Ready, go. 1, and. Let's do it again. Ready, go. 1, and. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's clap and count. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's go backwards. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. This is 1 eighth rest. Quarter rest equals 2 eighth rests. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Clap and count. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's go backwards. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. This is a half note. You've learned before a half note equals 2 beats. And a half note would have 4 eighth notes in it. So this could be 1, and 2, and. Do that. Ready, go. 1, and 2, and. It could be 2 and 3 and. Let's do that. Ready, go. 2 and 3 and. It could be 3 and 4 and. Ready, and go, and. 3 and 4 and. Whatever it is, it's 4 eighth notes. It's 1 and 2 and, or 2 and 3 and. Whatever it is, 2 beats equals 4 eighth notes. This is called what? This is called the half note. This is the head. This is the stem. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Let's go backwards. Ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. You're going to go forwards and count it yourself. Ready, and go, and. Let's see what you remember. What do you call this part of the note? This is called the stem. What do you call this part of the note? This is called the head. On a half note, the head is not filled in. What do you call the horizontal thing that connects the two eighth notes together? This is called a beam. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's do the numbers. So this is going to be 4 1 1 2. Ready? Go. 1 2 3 4 1 1 1 2. Let's do with counts. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So here's your eighth rest. What do you call this or this? These are called flags. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Go forwards without my help. Ready? And go. And. Let's move on. Quarter rest, half note, eighth rest, eighth note. Let's do numbers first. We're going to say 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 1. Ready? And go. And 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 1. Do it again. Ready? Go. 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 1. Let's clap and count with counts now. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Piece of cake. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. How many beats is a half note? Half note equals 2 beats. How many eighth notes is in a half note? A half note is the same as 4 eighth notes tied together. That's why this is 3 and 4 and. Let's clap and count. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Backwards. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we learned before that the dotted quarter note equals 1.5 beats. How many eighth notes are in a quarter note? Dotted quarter note. Dotted quarter note equals 3 eighth notes. Ready? Go. 1 and 2. Let's do 3 and 4. Ready? Go. 3 and 4. Which is different than a half note, which equals 4 eighth notes. Okay, so we have 4, 3, 1. Let's count numbers. Ready? Go. And 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 1. Let's do counts. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to clap with you. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's count numbers. 3, 1, 4. Ready and go. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do counts. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's go backwards. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and without me. Ready and go. And so make sure you're counting out loud because I'm not counting with you. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's go backwards. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we learned that a dot makes a note 1.5 times its value. This is a dotted half note. If a half note equals 2 beats, 1.5 times 2 is obviously 3. So dotted half note is 3 beats. And a dotted half note is going to have 6 eighth notes. It'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and. Let's clap and count that. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and. Started on beat 2. Ready and go. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. See that? 2 and 3 and 4 and is also 6 eighth notes. Ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Do it without my help. Go forwards. Ready and go. And. Ready and go. And. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do that again. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's use numbers. 1, 1, 6. Ready? Go. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go backwards with numbers. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 1. Let's do counts backwards. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's your dotted half note. Let's do numbers. 1, 1, 6. Ready and go. And 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do counts. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Count it on your own. Ready and go. And. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And let's go backwards. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Last review. What kind of note is this? This is a dotted half note. How many beats is a dotted half note? Dotted half note equals 3 beats. How many eighth notes are in a dotted half note? There are 6 eighth notes in a dotted half note. What do you call this part of the note? The line that goes up and down. That's called the stem. What do you call the line that connects the 2 eighth notes? That's called the beam. What if there was 1 eighth note and you just had this one curved line here? That would be called the flag.